Welcome to Making It Italian. We got some great, simple, affordable recipes for you to make for your family when you don't think there's anything left to cook. Come check it out. Hey guys, so today we're talking about one of my personal favorite pasta dishes, pasta e ceci, which is pasta and chickpeas. I like to call this sticks and stones. Why? Here's the stones, these little chickpeas right here. And this broken pasta that was in your pantry, here's your sticks. I used to call it sticks and stones when my son was a little boy to get him to eat it, and it worked, and he loved sticks and stones. So let's talk about what's in this recipe. Okay, so let's talk about our ingredients. We've got about 1 16-ounce can of chickpeas right here, rinsed out of the can. This is 1 onion diced up nice and fine. This is about 2 sprigs of fresh rosemary chopped up. If you don't have fresh rosemary, you could use dried rosemary, that'll work just fine. 4 cloves of garlic and 2 quarts of chicken stock. If you're a vegetarian, you could use veggie stock. If you don't have any stock in the house, that's fine too. Just use water. You probably just have to season it a little bit more. And to finish it off at the end, we've got a little Parmesan cheese. You can grate that up top of your soup. If you don't want the cheese, leave it out. It's fine too. So let's cook. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get a medium-sized sauce pot like this. Get that flame going under there. And get a little bit of olive oil in the pan. You could use extra virgin, you could use regular olive oil. Not really gonna make a difference. I like to use a little extra virgin for this dish just to get a little bit of that olive flavor in there. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add our onions to the pan. Get those babies in there, get that going. Okay, I'm gonna let that go a little bit. And I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna smash these garlic cloves as we love to smash them because nobody likes tiny pieces of garlic in their teeth. Ain't nobody got no time for that. All right, let's get that in the pan with the onions. Get that moving around in there. You don't have to cook these completely through because they're gonna cook in the stock as we put everything together. So you just wanna get them sweating a little bit, and then I'm gonna add the chickpeas to that as well. Here's my chickpeas right here. Like I said, that's 1 can of chickpeas. Make sure you rinse those babies off to get the flavor of the can out of it. If you've got fresh chickpeas in the house, dried, they're gonna have to soak for a long time. Ain't nobody got no time for that either. So, we're gonna get this guy going right here. I'm gonna let that cook a little bit. I'm gonna add about half of my rosemary to that, just to kind of really infuse that rosemary goodness into those chickpeas and onions and garlic. Oh man, that smells so good. You know, they say that if you smell rosemary, it clears your mind, and I don't even remember what I was doing. Anyway, we're gonna come back over here, get a little bit of sea salt in there. Boom, sea salt. It's about a pinch of sea salt, just to get it going. You don't want to overly season things in the beginning. You want to taste them towards the end to make sure you do not make it too salty. A little bit of crushed red pepper, as I love just a little bit of kick in all my favorite dishes. So I'm gonna let that go for about 5, maybe 10 minutes just to get it nice and softened a little bit. And then once it gets to that point, we will add our chicken stock. Now this dish would work really well too if you had some roasted chicken laying around, maybe one of those rotisserie chickens from the supermarket. You could tear that up at the end and drop it in there. It's already got chicken flavor in it, and to add nice pieces of chicken, that will be a great addition as well. So next thing we want to do here is we want to get that up to a little bit of a boil, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple ladles of that chickpea mixture and we're going to drop it into our blender or our Cuisinart, and we're going to puree it just to thicken that soup up a little bit, and it's going to be so good. Okay, so we've got this right under a boil now, and what we're going to do next is take it over here and puree some in our food processor. And we're going to take some of these chickpeas, mostly try and get the chickpeas and the onions and the garlic in there. You don't really need a lot of the stock. You want to really just get those chickpeas pureed, and what's that is going to do, it's going to release so much starch from those chickpeas, and it's going to thicken this up real nicely. And then on top of all that, when you put the pasta in here, that's going to even get some more starch. So it's going to be, it looks really thin right now, but when this is done, it's going to be so creamy and delicious. All right, so let's get these guys in here. A nice puree going. And then once this is pureed, it's going to go back into the pot, and it's ready for our pasta. So Look at that. See that nice consistency? That's going to get in there. Okay. Boom. Into the pot. Next thing we're going to do, take this pot back to the stove, and that's when we're going to add the sticks. Already got the stones. Let's get some sticks in there. Now this is bucatini. It's a thicker spaghetti noodle, and it's got a tiny little hole in the middle of it. There's little ladies that come over with pins and stick. No, that's not what they do. Anyway, you can use regular spaghetti if you got it. Everybody's got a broken bag of spaghetti in their pantry. I promise you that. So we're going to take it over here. We're going to break some pieces off into there. And these are the sticks that are going into our sticks and stones. Turn that down a little bit. Now this is going to cook right in the same pot. We're not even going to put another pot of water on for this pasta. This is really a one-pot dish. And I promise you, man, this is going to feed like 6 people. And all these ingredients right here, probably under $5. You got a can of chickpeas, which most of the times you could find for about 99 cents. This pasta was probably about $1, but it's worth about 20 cents now, and it's all broken up like that. You can even find some grocery stores will have pasta that is bags of broken up noodles like this. And those are great to throw into soups. And we are just about done breaking that off in there. I am strong like bull. Look at that. So there you go. There's your sticks for your sticks and stones. Now this pasta is going to take about 8 to 10 minutes to cook. And remember, as it's cooking, it's releasing all that beautiful starch that's going to make this a nice, creamy dish for you. So right now this pasta is cooking its way through. And you could already see it starting to thicken up. Look at that broth starting to thicken up there. And what's neat is, you let this, once it's all cooked, pasta's done, chickpeas are done, everything's done, you let that sit a little longer and that starch is just going to keep coming out of there and thickening this up even more. And this is such a great little dish. It's great on a cold day, it's great in the summertime. You can actually eat it a little cool, which is delicious, I think. And again, quick, easy, affordable, under $5. This is going to feed like 6 people, or 3 of me. Maybe just 1 of me, I don't know. All right, so this stuff's been going for about 9 or 10 minutes. Now I'm going to just check this pasta. You want it to be al dente. Al dente means to the tooth. A nice little bit of bite left on it. You don't want it to be mushy because it's going to keep cooking, honestly. It's one thing that people don't understand, and it's hard to explain to people that once you take something off the stove, whether it be a pasta, a meat dish, no matter what it is, before it gets to the table, it's going to continue cooking. It's called carryover cooking. It's still hot. It's still cooking a little bit. Now, it's not going to change the doneness drastically, but this stuff is still hot. So it's still releasing starch. It's still cooking. It's still doing all the wonderful stuff that you want it to do before it gets to the table to your family. So this is done. I feel like it's just perfectly cooked now. We're going to take it over here and we're going to put it in a bowl and check it out. All right, so get a nice little soup bowl over here. We'll put our sticks and stones in there. Look how nice and creamy that stock has become with all the little magical things we've done to it. Pureeing it, the chickpeas in there. It's really nice right now. I'm going to get a little bit more of grated Parmesan cheese on top of here. If you don't like cheese, do it without the cheese. I love cheese on soup. It makes me happy, so I do it. All right, let's taste it. See what we got here, kids. I'm going to try and get a little pasta, little stick, little stone in each bite here. Oh, that is so good. Just the bite of the chickpeas, the pasta's cooked perfectly. The broth is delicious. I don't feel like it needs any more seasoning at all. Look at that. Onions are nice and soft. Just the right amount of rosemary. Let's take a look at that broth. Look at the way that's thickened up so nicely there. All the starch from the pasta that's in that water right now, the chicken broth, the chickpeas that you pureed before, it's just perfect. And it's only going to get better the longer it sits here. And this, again, great meal for your family. So, pasta a ceci, or I like to call it sticks and stones. Delicious, one of my favorite dishes. Hope it's going to become one of your favorite dishes. Thanks so much for tuning in again. Check us out on our YouTube channel, Making It Italian with Nick Pellegrino. Go to our website, mangianashville.com, and thank you so much again for supporting our local restaurants. Cent'anni, everybody.